All right, we're back. We are back. Wax poetic, Justin.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back in midway through the third inning. Sometimes technology just doesn't want to be your friend sometimes, and there's not much you kind of do to dance around it. But John Turner over here to my left working feverishly to get us back up and on the air. Uh, Midway through the third, it's a 2-0 Camden lead. Inman has yet to put anything in the run or hit column so far through their first three turns at bat.
And
So,
we do apologize for the dropping off of the air like that. Certainly not what we wanted to do at all. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I've got two Wi-Fi's up here. One is AT&T, one is Verizon. That is not a plug for either company because they both failed me at the same time. And for some reason, the Mevo camera decided to go. It had a mind of its own, as technology often does. But we do sincerely apologize for being off the air for that little bit. But hopefully, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, as they say in certain parts of this beloved Palmetto state of ours. Hopefully, we'll stay on the air here the rest of the day. I'm going to work feverishly to try to figure out what in the Sam Hill went wrong, and hopefully, we'll get that remedied and taken care of so it won't happen again. So, sincerest apologies. And Justin, while I was trying to do everything but throw my equipment out of the window here at beautiful Sparrow Stadium. Give us a recap of what you saw there.
and Inman has yet to register anything in the run or hit column through their first three turns at the plate, I should say, and they have only made the Camden pitcher throw 27 pitches through 3 innings. Conversely, Corbin Childers is knocking on the door by my unofficial count of 50 pitches.
Now, of course, if it's your unofficial count, that means it's official. That's Mr. Reef Snyder is handling that business for us today, and we appreciate Michael doing that for sure. But looking at the game, as I was trying to get my equipment to play nice with me, one thing that I did look at and notice, Camden should be up by more than 2 runs.
Yeah.
Base running faux pas, if you will, two of them have cost Post 17 a couple runs.
And both of them should be credited to the assist of one Caden Roach at first base, who was the cutoff man on said plays, and both times made a throw to nab a runner. First time at home plate in the second inning, and then, or actually in the first inning, excuse me, to end the first inning. And then in the second inning also had a play to get a crucial second out.
So we're in the bottom of the third. There's nobody on. There's nobody out. It's 2-0 Camden. Your line score. No runs, no hits, no errors for Inman. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Camden Post 17. Pitch from Corbin Childers, who I have to say miraculously is still in there.
Yeah, but he's well, as the saying goes, you need a bulldog to bite the nail. You need him to go out there and if you're injured, give you as much length as possible, especially playing out of an elimination bracket, which is really, really tough to do.
And this is Jacob Morris with a war club in his hand. He walked back in the first inning. He came around to score the second run for Camden. And the pitch from Corbin Childers, a fastball right down the middle of the plate, but high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We'll say there are some folks out here, JT, who have made a heads-up play and brought umbrellas.
They planned ahead.
Salute.
How dare you? I tip my cap to you, sir, lady. That pitch swung on and a pop-up. Shallow left center, shallow left field near the line, I should say. Coming over and losing his cap as the left fielder for Inman. That's Kaysen Owen, but he'll make the play.
Yeah, Kaysen had a little bit of took one step in, but was able to correct himself, got a good read on it, came over and made the play.
Here's Zane Cato.
That was first time Morris has been retired today.
Zane Cato also walked in the first inning, but was a victim not of making, I guess is the best way to put it, because there was a base running mistake, but it wasn't on him. The runner behind him, which was John Rawlings, had come off the second base bag too far, and then it was Cato got run down, not of his own making. The 0-1 swung on. Here's a line drive through the whole right side base hit. Nicely done there by Zane. Just took a pitch on the outer half, serves right field. And that is a base hit, another one for Camden. Base hit number 4 of 17. And that'll bring up the aforementioned John Rawlings, who did have a single and an RBI back in the first inning. That pitch just swung on and foul right side.
But yeah, Camden so far hits 2 runs to show for their effort so far. And the 17ers, they're always a tough bunch. And just a little stat nugget here. 5 out of the 16 that have advanced to this portion of the state tournament have won a state championship. Rawlings falling behind 2-2. We gonna keep battling as Rawlings next side 1 and 2. Next pitch fouled away. Count will ride at 1 and 2. Children will try and get another sign here. See what he can work with. Camden trying to tack on here to a 2-run lead early on. Runner with his lead off first. That's Cato. He was the man caught way off second base in the second inning. Ball hit out to center field. But Luke Compton makes quick work of that. Two down. Bring up Weather, the center fielder. Weathers flew out to the center by diving grab by Luke Compton. It was a flare shot that appeared to be a base hit, but somehow, some way, Luke Compton got there and took it away. Winding fire. Ball hit out to left field. Foul. Down toward the bullpen area. Runner will return to his spot at first base. Cato had a 1-out single in the frame. Weather steps back in with a strike against him. Weather sticks and fires outside. 1 and Inman had a couple of prolonged innings in the field to begin this one. And Camden fans have to be happy with that. I would imagine the merry-go-round is on here. The runner will be off. The payoff pitch with 2 outs. Pick off throw to first. Runner's back in just ahead of the throw. And Childers letting the runner know, I've got you on my mind. letting him know he knows he's there. Runner is off. Ball chopped out to third. Wilson scoops it on a hop. Fires it to first, and there's the third out. Camden gets a one-out base runner, but nothing comes of it. We'll make the turn for the fourth. The score remains 2-0 Camden over Inman here at the South Carolina American Legion State Tournament at Francis Marion University.
We're going to head to the top of the fourth inning. Mr. Blackwell still on the bump for Camden post 17. It's 2-0. CWC Media. Is that James McBee? I think it must be an unofficial official guest. 2-0 the score. Camden with the lead. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Camden. Nothing but zeros across for Inman post 45, but we've got a long way to go. Again, apologies for the for going off the air. We finally got that settled. Hopefully, Lord help us all. But then the audio decided it wanted to crap out on us, so appreciate that. Palmer, thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate the feedback. That's the only way we know. We're trying to do it with the equipment we've got. It's just not going as well as we'd hope. Squaring around the bunt, the bunting get foul. Will be the leadoff man here for Inman post 45. And I believe it's Caden Roach. It's Compton. I beg your pardon. Luke Compton, top of the order. It's top of the order. Now, you said something while I was working feverishly trying to get the equipment back up and running, and I will say this. You brought up a great point. That pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen, and that is what? What did you say? One ball and 2 strikes to Luke Compton. And if you're going to get a rally started, if you're in post 45, no better person than the top of the order. Pitch, swung on, tapper foul, first base 5. Now, something I do wonder, the person in the chat, Jason Palmer, I wonder if that is Aiden Palmer's relative. That pitch is swung on, off the pitcher. Blackwell picks it up, throw to first, got him. That's just an outstanding baseball play, and that shows the versatility of Mr. Blackwell. Yes, he's a really good pitcher. He's a great pitcher, but he fields his position very well as well. He's a position player for Camden. He's not a one-trick pony, quote-unquote, although he's listed only as a pitcher. And if you look at what he did at Blythewood for the Bengals, yes, pitcher mostly, but he is a really good athlete, and he showed it there. 1 up and 1 down for Jaron Metcalf, and that's the changeup that misses low, caught the corner below, 1-0 the count. That pitch is swung on and hit right back to Blackwell, who rips it off the turf. Blackwell was like, guys, tell you what, you just take this half inning off. I got this. 2 up and 2 down for Johan Rodriguez. He can do a lot of different things, and he has for the Blythewood Bengals. He's a really, really good athlete. Left-handed thrower, obviously, but also left-handed when he picks up the War Club as well, and he can do some damage with the War Club. That pitch is a strike. Pitch to Johan. Caught the corner but low. A ball and a strike. Yo-yo. I'll let you tell the fans that. So if you had Justin, there's a pitch, breaking ball, low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you had it on your bingo card that he would mention Chapman, from the 4th inning in, you are a winner. And Mr. Ritchie just answered the question. That pitch, here's a little flare out in the right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Just off the end of the bat, nothing anybody could do about that. And the first hit of the day for Inman is just a little duck snort, crack, crack, out in the right field. Affleck. And who else? Johan Rodriguez. And I'm being told that Jason Palmer, that's Aiden's parent. So there you go. Let me tell you something. You're not supposed to have favorites. Aiden Palmer is one of my favorites. I have watched him play from a distance in awe. Saw him in the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge. He is a heck of a pitcher. That pitch is a back foot breaking ball. It misses for ball 1 to Corbin Childers, trying to help his own cause now with a runner at first, but 2 down. That pitch is swung on and hit back up the box into center field for a base hit. Not hit hard at all, but here's Johan Rodriguez. Catcher speed, my backside. He hits the bag at second, and he's going to slide face first into third. Your catcher, folks, just went first to third on a little bleeder up the middle. That's back-to-back base knocks for the boys from Inman. Runners at the corners with 2 down, a little 2-out magic for the fellas from Post 45. Well, I won't be going there. Can you call me from heaven and tell me how it is? I'm going to the other place. It's a little further south of here. Caden Roach is the batter for him in Post 45. Nice, well played. Well played. That pitch right down the heart of the plate by Miss Lowe. Myrtle Beach. I saw a decal on a car yesterday in Fort Mill, of all places. In Fort Mill, it said, can't wait to get to, and it was a space, and it said Myrtle. And above that, it said dirty. The 1-0. That pitch misses low, 2-0. The first time I ever heard that term was my broadcast buddy, Tyler Cupp, the young gentleman to our left from Camden. Know Tyler very well. No, but I don't care where you go in the 46 counties of South Carolina. Everybody knows Tyler Cupp. He's the Elvis of South Carolina broadcasting. That pitch is swung on and fouled out of play right side. 2-1 is the count. Thank you very much. Tyler Cupp, he worked in Camden. He went to Lugoff Elgin. He works for WRHI in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Mike Hagens of Brooklyn, Casey. I could go on for days about the number of people I've met across this state and every corner of this state that knows Tyler Cupp. The pitch swung on and popped up a mile high. This 2 will reach the seated areas, and that'll run the count to 2-2. So deuces are wild. You've got 2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Well played, sir. That's why you're the professional. I'm just the idiot. Professional. Is that in air quotes, by the way? Pitch from Blackwell. Swung on, and here's a worm burner that eats up the second baseman, but the shortstop can't get to it. Inman will score a run. That'll cut the lead in half. And here's where the base running mistakes come back to bite Camden. Instead of being up 3 or 4, now they're only up 2-1. And I can't wait to see how the official scorekeeper will tally that one. It was. Definitely was. I th- if you're gonna score that an error, I'm gonna say that's harsh. There's gonna be a talking to. Well, well, you tell me how that goes for you. I'm not going to go there. Is that an error? It's got to. You're going to call that an error? Wow, the official score is looking at us like we lost our mind. You're going to call that an E4? Man, I'm glad you weren't my math teacher. Jeez. Red challenge flag. I will say this about this facility here. There's like a drive-through window between the PA booth and the broadcast booth. Whoever decided to put that in, that's a blessing and a curse, because now we got a dead eye right on the official scorekeeper, and he's looking at us like, "Who are you to question me?" Thank you, drive-through. Would you like fries with that? Hudson Wilson takes a strike on the outside corner. So there was a question. They wanted to know what happened with the bases loaded situation. So there was a base hit in the bottom of the first inning. That base hit was off the bat of Macon Leopard, and it scored another run for Camden. But then the runner coming around second got too far off the bag. The runner at third was held up. So the runner was off second. That pitch is swung on, and a one hopper to the second baseman. He'll double clutch, throw to first, and retire the side. However, a run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Camden 2 and Inman 1. And so, and even people on the chat are saying it's an E4. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe not. Who knows? People want to know. So anyway, what happened is Inman played it perfectly. On the relay throw in, it was cut off perfectly, and it was Caden Roach who did the honor. So they threw behind the runner trying to get back to second. Runner at third tried to score. They threw home, and Mr. Rodriguez said, "I don't think so. You gone." And then Camden had another base runner. They had a runner at second with less than 2 outs. Another base running faux pas cost post 17 a potential run there in the second. So Inman, very fortunate to be in this game. I'm not picking a side. I know you are. A little bit of post 45 love. I get it. But if you're Camden, you got to be looking at this going, man, we should have had this one sewn up by now. Although you can say that all you want to, but here's what really happened. Go back to the game against Rock Hill, and again, bad memories, I get it. But up 4-0 in the top of the first, and the final score is 15-10. That could still happen here. We'll, we'll say this. If you look at it statistically for Inman post 45 in the playoffs, this is just the playoffs. They've scored 47 runs. That's the second most prolific offense in the playoffs. Only Rock Hill has bested them. Rock Hill has 50 runs scored. In the regular season, Inman, the run differential was 103-45. Let that marinate for a second. So can it happen? Yes. But Camden's sitting over there going, hey, don't forget about us. Yoo-hoo. Um, their run differential's pretty gaudy as well. 82-28 in the regular season. They were very stingy. They didn't let people score. So we head to the bottom of inning number 4. And the first pitch is swung on and hacked at, popped up straight up the chute. The shortstop out into shallow center field, still battling the breeze, and making the catch for out number 1 will be Perry Dyer. 1 pitch, 1 out. The model of efficiency. That pitch just off the outside corner. Oh, that looks heavenly. Somebody just sent me a picture of a big screen television. The pitch just swung on and popped up a mile high. Shallow right field, coming in the right fielder, going out to second baseman. Second baseman peels off just in the nick of time. Ooh, Montalvo will make the catch. Oh, and you know he was screaming at the top of his lungs, ball, 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 ball. By the way, for Corbin Childers, that last pitch was pitch number 70 after he threw almost 30 in the first. That pitch swung on and missed. There's the breaking ball that you were looking for back in the first. He kept trying to throw that backdoor breaking ball back in the first inning, but he just could not get it over the outside corner. That one might not have been a strike, but it was close. Tried to double up, but that one's overcooked as he's going to do a little maintenance work. And it could be, could very well be. The 2-1 swung on, Tapper foul, third base side, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Duncan, right fielder for Camden. Oh, yes, I've heard of it. However, the pitch swung on and popped up a mile high. This one shallow right field near the line, backing off this time is Montalvo, and hitting his keister is the second baseman Jaron Metcalf, and he will make the catch while stumbling to the ground. A very workmanlike effort there for Mr. Metcalf as Camden, heck of a play there, battling the sun as well. 1-2-3 goes Camden after 4 complete your score. Camden post 17 leads Inman post 45 2-1. Appreciate y'all tuning in this afternoon to the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships from Sparrow Stadium here in Florence, South Carolina. Back in just a bit here on the We Are Football Broadcasting Network. You can wax poetic all you want about rushes, but there was a place that I took Mr. Backbanks to, the athletic director of Fort Mill Post 43 senior and juniors, some place in Spartanburg called The Beacon.
Oh, yes.
He had never been to The Beacon before, and when I ordered the double chili cheeseburger aplenty, he looked at my plate and said, he just pointed and said, "What is that? Like, what is that thing?" That pitch just swung on and fouled out of play, and I looked at him very casually and said, "That, sir, is my dinner." He will be back. He loved it.
Which aplenty was it? I'm curious.
Oh, onion rings.
Oh, boy.
Of course. The 0-1, front door right at the knees, much to the chagrin of Perry Dyer, leadoff man for Inman post 45 here in the top of the 5th.
Underrated item at the Beacon. Chicken stew.
I agree with that. Peach cobbler.
Oh, yes.
The pitch swung on a foul, tipped into the glove of the catcher for strike 3. And very quickly, good morning, good afternoon, good night. 1 down for Inman post 45. Here's Montalvo.
Montalvo, Montalvo was 1-for-1 the other night with a walk and a run scored.
The pitch swung on and a line drive right to the second baseman. Then Adam Ball, but Zane Cato will rip it out of the air very quickly. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter. That's Kason Owens, the left fielder for Inman.
Wow, I mean, I don't think he could have played that one any better at second base. Had it scouting report read perfectly.
And he wasn't shifted in some bizarre fashion. He
Nope.
was standing exactly where he's supposed to be at second base. The pitch swung on and hit a mile high, shallow right center field, the Bermuda Triangle, but the right fielder for Camden will gallop in and make the catch. Luke Duncan will squeeze out number 3. ABC 1-2-3 goes Inman in the top half of the 5th. We head to the bottom half. Your score remains Camden 2 and Inman 1. Back in a moment here on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. Headed to the bottom of the 5th inning, Camden 2, Inman 1 is the score. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors on Inman. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Camden. I do want to say thank you to one of my very good friends, mom and dad, who live right down the street. And when I say they live right down the street, I ain't kidding. They live right in the heart of downtown Florence. They let me stay this weekend. That pitch right down Tom Hall Street that most of y'all don't know where the Sam Hill that is.
I do.
That is right down the middle of Fort Mill, South Carolina. The 0-1 going to square around a bunt and bunts it. It's going to be a fair ball. Rodriguez will throw to first, but it short hops Caden Roach. That bunt went straight down. It caroled out in front of home plate. That is a fair ball. That is a heads-up play and call by the home plate umpire. Rodriguez got to it, stepped inward, through to first. That's got to be an E2.
E2.
It has to be an E2.
Yeah, that's on the throw. Nothing. It's just a short hop the first baseman.
For the first time today, us and the official scorer are on the same page. We finally got there. It was a process.
Speaking of trips in, JT,
Pitch is swung on and missed. The runner takes off for second, and he is in safely. He stole that base off of Childers.
I am staying a little further out of town in a place called Hartsville, about 50 minutes up the road. Great friend of mine, Nathan White, pastor of a local church in the Hartsville area. He and I go back way to when we were kids. We're longtime best friends, and on my way here, got to pass by the Lady in Black.
The Lady in Black.
Darlington Raceway.
Yes. Been there many times. Love it. Runner takes off for third. The having to double clutches Rodriguez because squaring around the bunt but pulling the bat back was Camden Watts. That's not interference. But the bat was in the eye line of Mr. Rodriguez, and I think just that little bit caused him to have to reach into the glove. He did not get a good grip on the baseball, so that's back-to-back swipes there for Kobe Evans.
And also, something that didn't help either was Hudson Wilson, was kind of hesitant to get back to cover the base as well. So that may have also caused Johan to double clutch too. It's kind
That,
of a double whammy there.
that pitch outside the zone, 2 balls and a strike. So he looks down the third and he goes, well, if I turn this bad boy loose, it's going to sail down the third baseline.
Yeah.
And now you're giving up 180 instead of 90. The pitch, back foot breaking ball misses, 3 balls and a strike. And now Inman is going to go to what a lot of baseball coaches call a zero defense. All 4 infielders on the lip of the grass, which is a sign that Coach Skinner doesn't think there's going to be a whole lot of runs scored beyond this point.
Oh, the way both teams are playing, I would have to agree.
That pitch tried to change up low and outside, but it's ball 4. So now runners at the corners for Camden and nobody out for the 3-hole hitter, Jacob Morris.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We got a mound visit coming up. Coach Line going to come out and talk to his pitcher. Got to wonder how much longer they're going to let Childers stay out there.
And I would love to tell you, if there was action going on in the Inman pen. But we can't see through the bushes.
Yeah.
By contrast, if you want to know this, Mr. Blackwell, 54 pitches, 36 strikes for Camden. Corbin Childers, 80 pitches now, 43 strikes. The difference, 19 batters faced, 18 batters faced, but a whole lot more pitches for Corbin than there is for Benjamin. That'll be another visit to the mound, but you got to stay with Corbin right now. He's one of your top guns. He's part of the reason you got here, and there you go. There's action going down in the Inman pen.
That looks to be Kyle Dill, number 13.
Kyle Dill.
Also, he's a teammate of Corbin's in high school at Bowling Springs. Used as a late inning relief arm.
Fastball high and outside. And just the way that Corbin is flexing that arm, as soon as you let that pitch go, you can tell he's starting to get a little bit weary out there. And he's had a lot of stressful pitches. That first inning took a lot out of it.
And especially out there in this 90-plus degree heat.
The 1-0. Runner takes off for second. Johan Rodriguez will fake the second, look to third. So a stolen base. The third stolen base of this half inning for Camden. And now it's second and third, nobody out, and a 1-1 count to the ever-dangerous Jacob Morris.
And also, you mentioned drawn in infield.
The P-15s of Sumter are in the house. The pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. You can always know the P-15s by that royal blue hat with the red bill.
Yeah.
They've got the American flag jerseys this year for the P-15s. We play at the home of USC Sumter, home of the Fire Ants.
The Riley Chop.
The 1-2 swung on a chopper through the whole left side, base hit. Coming home to score will be Evans. Coming right behind him will be Watts. And going into second base with a 2 RBI single will be Morris. He'll take second on the throw home. And Camden has extended the lead. It's 4-1.
I mean, great piece of hitting by Morris. He was able to find a hole in that drawn-in infield and put it where nobody was, and knew he had a couple of fast base runners on the base paths that could make the mad dash home.
There was no hesitation by the third base coach for Camden. He was going all windmill. As soon as that ball cleared the infield, that right arm was about to come out of his socket. So 4-1 Camden the score. Runner at second, still nobody out. Pitch from Childers going to square around the bunt. Bunts it foul. As the ball went straight down, came right back up and hit the batter, but he was standing inside the batter's box. And now joining the action in the Inman bullpen is Aaron Sewell.
Yeah, a couple of Bulldogs.
Another Boiling Springs youngster.
Yeah.
Going to square around the bunt again. Caden Roach will charge in, but Corbin will spin around. I call that the pirouette. But you got to be careful there because the shortstop's covering the bag because the second baseman's got to cover first for Caden Roach. Going to square around the bunt, and that bunt is foul.
Imagine the bunt's off here.
Mm.
And I'm not going to... It's kind of funny watching one of the signals from the third base box kind of look like a shrug, but he's coach was actually relaying a sign to the runner.
So unless the coach for Camden's got a poker face, I think the bunt is off because he made some hand signals to his runner at second, but he would not even look at the batter. He was not happy. The 0-2 to Zane. That pitch is swung on and a line drive into right center field, but it's deep. The outfielder's going back and not making the catch as the center fielder. It caroms off the glove of Luke Compton. Coming around third to score for Camden will be Jacob Morris. And it's 5-1. Everybody looks at the official score, but going to have to give that a hit, and that'll go as a triple, an RBI triple, and it's 5-1 Camden. That ball was a scalded dog from Zane Cato. Again, don't let the slight structure of these young guys fool you. They are strong as an ox, and he was flying. And they're going to appeal at third base. They're going to ask if Mr. Morris actually touched the pillow at third, and he is called safe. So the appeal is denied.
The worst thing that can happen on appeal is they say no. Then you
it's
move
like
on.
Asking a girl out on a date. Worst they can say is no.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Now you decide to shut your pie hole. I see how it is.
I'm gonna.
I see how it is.
Oh wait, they're gonna appeal again.
They're going to appeal again, but the first appeal was not granted. So why would the second appeal not be granted? And now the umpire, the third base, is like, okay, what are we doing?
Because I saw him come over here for one, and then he did the safe sign.
He did the safe sign.
Yeah.
They appealed and said the runner touched the bag at third. Now, I can't say whether he did or didn't. That's not where I was looking. And the pitch high and inside, ducking out of the way of it for Camden is John Rawlings. Mr. Rawlings has a base hit in this ball game.
Corbin inching up toward 90 pitches, and
zero defense again by Inman. The pitch, breaking ball low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to John Rawlings.
Yeah, Inman has been playing baseball. The team was established in 1954. This is, if my math is correct, this is their 70th season of baseball.
Said the man back in the first, I hope there's no math today. That pitch high and inside. 3-0 the count. I'm just holding you accountable for what you said, sir.
I'm all for it.
You said no math.
No, I had that
I stayed away from the math.
I had it mapped out before.
You had it mapped out before.
Yeah.
You should be a lawyer. The 3-0. Right down Tom Hall Street for strike one.
I'm gonna no. That I don't think I would do well. So. I'm gonna stick to being a scribe.
To each their own, I say. The 3-1 pitch from Childers, high and inside, ball 4. And for Corbin, that is walk number 5.
Yeah.
He walked 3 in the first. He's walked 2 here in the 5th.
Inman hoping to at least get through the 5th, not have to go to the bullpen, but no outs. And that's not going to help you.
That's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah.
And Camden could open this thing up with one swing of the bat. Runner takes off for second. The fastball is high. Rodriguez will stick it in his back pocket, and you could tell Johan did not want to do that. He wanted to grip and rip, but you can't. Not with that runner at third. So another stolen base. That, by my count, is the 4th stolen base just this half inning by Camden.
Yeah, that's right.
That pitch also outside of the zone. Now Rodriguez going to jog out there and have a talk with Corbin Childers, who is definitely laboring now. And he's starting to get to the point where you're thinking this is going to be the last batter for Corbin, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the pitch count. I'm trying to keep as much of one as I can here on my record. I've got him already knocking on the door of 90, if not already just over it.
The official scorekeeper has Corbin at 96 pitches.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think the max is 110. You can finish that batter, right?
The pitch, fastball stays high. Don't get me started on pitch counts. I am a baseball coach as well, and it burns me up when I see some of these pitch counts that are
Yep.
110. Come on.
Oh,
These are kids. It's steaming hot out here. It takes them 25 to 30 pitches to warm up, so they really haven't thrown 100 pitches. It's way more than that. The pitch, low and inside, that's ball four, and I'd be shocked if Coach Skinner lets him go any further. And here comes
Coach
the hook,
Line.
and that will be the day for Corbin Childers. He will exit stage left. Now, I put all the onus on you, Justin, because now we go back to what you said when the game started, which was Coach Skinner and Inman went straight nine. There's no designated hitter, so now you've got to go position by position. So what say you to that? First of all, does Corbin stay in the game? And if he does, who's got to come out?
If he stays in the game, it would be at first base.
Which means Caden Roach would have to find a new home.
Either Caden, that would put Caden, if they keep him in the game, well, looks like he might be coming off the field. But there also is a possibility Caden could come back in at some point at third base. So
if he comes out of the game, he's
Oh.
got to stay out of the game.
Okay, I didn't know that rule. My
Yeah,
apologies.
this is, if I understand the rule book correctly, which is very unlikely, but if I understand correctly, these are major league rules. You take a player out of a game, they're burned.
Okay.
It gets confusing because in the South Carolina High School League, you can re-enter one time. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I think you can at the junior level,
Yeah.
but you can't at the senior level. At least that's my understanding. But if we're wrong on that, we'll certainly own it. That's for sure. But the new pitcher for Inman post number 45 is number 13. That's Kyle Dill.
He's been used in more of a late inning reliever type role for Inman. The first round of the playoffs, he recorded 2 saves. Came in, worked a couple of scoreless seventh innings, kind of shut things down, including, I think, their opener against Winsboro. Sorry, I almost drew a blank there for a second.
Yeah, Inman defeated Winsboro. I think that first game of the playoffs, the final was 6-4 against a very tough Bandits team.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Coach Tyler Gregory and the Winsboro Bandits were anything but an easy out. Rock Hill post 34 lost one game at home all year long. Regular season and playoffs. The one loss, the Winsboro Bandits.
And
that's how tough the league was this year. Winsboro beat Fort Mill twice, 10-9 and 3-2. Fort Mill was 0-2 to start the year thanks to Winsboro.
And Winsboro's the, quote, new kids on the block
The
this year,
air
right?
quotes, new kids on the block. But let me tell you something. Donnie Weston, Blake Gambrell, Coach Gregory, that crew, they were a lot of things. An easy out was not one of them.
Yeah, and it was a good group from Winsboro that came over before the game at Inman Mills Park to begin the playoffs. And they were very great people.
First pitch from Kyle Dill is a fastball high and outside. Just to finish the thought on that. So then after getting past Winsboro and then ending Fort Mill season, Inman then blanked Richland post 215, 10-zip, but then lost to Rock Hill 15-10 as that pitch is in there for a strike, which is why this is an elimination game. And the pitch, that one bangs the outside corner, 1-2. Now, what's interesting that ties into that line of thinking is Richland, with their season on the line, had to go to Greer in historic Stevens Field and beat the Warhawks twice. That pitch swung on and popped up. Shallow center field, everybody convening, and the center fielder will be Luke Compton, who will come in and make the catch.
Wow.
That had horror written all over it if you're a fan of Inman.
Yeah, that one of those flare shots that it'll keep a coach awake at night, I'm sure, in this type of situation.
You had Metcalf going out like his hair was on fire. Compton's coming in like a house of fire, and you just worry about them colliding.
Yeah.
But thankfully, nobody did.
And you remember you saw Jaron make a heck of a play.
Yes.
And kind of caused some concern, but it appears to be all right.
Breaking ball looked like it caught the corner, but called a ball.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the previous round of the playoffs because you were on the call for that game where Jaron made a running, diving catch and foul ground.
That pitch off the outside corner 2-0. Now you're talking about repressed memories for me.
Sorry.
Thanks for that. Appreciate
Sorry.
it. Yeah. Inman beat Fort Mill not once but twice,
I-
13-3 and then 8-5.
But they always seem to run into each other.
The pitch swung on and roped deep left field. This might leave the yard, and it will gone. It's a grand slam home run for Patrick Daniels, and Camden has busted it wide open. It's 9-1. What a rocket shot off the bat. It was a fastball right down Tom Hall Street, and Patrick Daniels said, bang. Coming home to score, Rawlings, Weathers, and Leppert. Beg your pardon, Cato, Rawlings, and Weathers. So a grand slam home run. So in this half inning, we've had an error, a walk, a single, a triple, 2 walks, and a grand slam home run. 9-1 the score.
Yeah, the sudden turn of events, and all of a sudden Camden has all the momentum right now.
So 4 RBIs from your 8-hole hitter.
And that closes the book on Childers. He'll be charged with 8 runs.
That pitch swung on and missed. And then you read my mind. The final line score on Corbin, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 6 walks. The surprise to me, though, no strikeouts.
Yeah, that's weird.
That pitch is swung on and foul ball. Nice hands over there by the third base coach for Camden. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Coach Carmen.
I believe you're right.
The all-knowing Mike Ritchie with the answer. Johnny on the spot as always. That pitch high inside, and it will hit him. The answer, by the way, max pitches, 105.
Oh, I was close.
105. But you were close.
Yeah, but it's not horseshoes.
Those are hand grenades. I deserve that, yes. Runner at first, and now everybody for Camden has batted in this half inning.
I mean, this Camden team, you hit on it earlier with what they were able to do, being stingy when it comes to the opposing team's offensive output. As this is the 10th batter of the inning for the 17ers. And so 1-0 count. Make it 2-0. But, I mean, Camden and Inman have had some wars, so to speak.
There have been some knockdown dragouts over the years, and as crazy as this sounds, and Kobe Evans can do this. If he sends one out of here, that's ball game.
Yeah.
The pitch, that one bounces up there. Rodriguez going to throw behind the runner, but the throw will short hop Corbin, who has stayed in the game. So you were 100% right. Corbin stayed in the game, and I don't see Mr. Roach out there. He might have stayed in the game, but he might have gone to the outfield. The pitch, right down Tom Hall Street. It's 3 balls and a strike.
Say Roach has played third, first, and also a little bit of right field throughout the season for Post 45. Hudson Wilson has split time at catcher and third base.
And that pitch right down the heart of the plate, but did miss low for ball 4. So Kobe Evans will jog down to first base. So he reached on an E2 to start this frame, and now he jogs down to first. It's now first and second for Camden, and only 1 down for Camden Watts, who has walked twice. Pitch from Kyle Dill. That fastball right down Tom Hall, straight at the knees for a strike. 9-1 Camden is the score. Still in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch is swung on and hit high in the air. Left side, but it will go foul onto the little bit of the embankment right near the main entrance to this beautiful facility.
Yeah, I see that embankment, and you know what it makes me think of? A little bit of Fluor Field. Little grass embankment over that way.
The pitch swung on and missed. And that is the first strikeout for Kyle Dill. That's actually the first strikeout for Inman pitching today, period.
Yeah.
And it is out number 2.
This facility this is my first visit here.
Mine as well. I've driven past it. I've
Yeah.
seen it from afar. First time I've ever stepped into this facility, and it's breathtaking. That
Yes.
pitch high and outside to Jacob Morris.
And we're very thankful for the folks here being willing to host this state tournament.
Oh, 100%. And just huge thanks to all the people here at Francis Marion. That pitch high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. We met the athletic director. He came in and gave us a little bit of an impromptu tour of the facility.
Nice.
I mean, how many college baseball stadiums have you been in where there's an elevator?
I have not been in one yet.
I've been in one, and that would be Doug Kingsmore Stadium, Tiger Field in Clemson.
Yeah, I've been to Doug Kingsmore once or twice as a fan, but that was about it 10 or so
That
years
pitch
ago.
right down the heart of the plate for a strike.
It was probably 2010, 2011 when I went over there.
But by the way, the runner from second took off for third and made it easily.
Yeah, just Camden trying to be aggressive, be the aggressors here, and try and end this one early.
And I think I'm going to opine as to why that pitch is swung on and missed by the boards with that thought anyway. That will retire the side. However, Camden put up quite an inning, 7 runs. They did it on the back of 3 base hits. There was an error. There were 2 men left. We head to the 6th inning. Camden 9 and Inman 1. And you're watching the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships from Florence, South Carolina, here on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Back in a bit. Welcome back, everybody, to beautiful Sparrow Stadium. Here on the campus of Francis Marion University, home of the Patriots. If you don't know who Francis Marion is and you're from South Carolina, shame on you. We head to the 6th inning. 9-1 is the score. You should read more history books. Leading off for Inman Post 45, it's going to be the top of the order, I believe, and Luke Compton. The first pitch is swung on, and a worm burner to the second baseman. He'll dive, and it eats him up into right field. Everybody looks at the official score, and they're going to call that a base hit.
Yeah, the amount of effort it required for the second baseman.
I love how everybody in the booth, all 4 broadcasters, all lean back and look at the official score all at the same time. Like, he puts up a screen.
It's like the line from the Walker Texas Ranger theme song, all eyes are upon you.
Oh, yes. Yes. No suit for you. Here's Jaron Metcalf. First pitch to him. Splits the heart of the plate, but stays high for ball 1. Do want to thank the head of the SCALB, Mr. Legree Oswald, in the house today for letting us get on the air and jabber like a bunch of howler monkeys on puree. A pitch outside the zone. 2-0 the count. I was mainly talking about me, Justin, not you. You're a professional.
Nah.
The 2-0 swung on, and here's a little looper ripped out of the air, throw to first, but it popped out of the glove of the first baseman. Would have been a double play. Nicely done by the second baseman for Camden, and he's had quite the day. Zane Cato has been just all over the place, but another hard hit ball off the bat of an Inman batter, but right to a Camden defender, and now the coach for Camden doesn't even make it to the line and has already signaled to the bullpen. That is Coach Stephen Carmen, and that will be the day for Mr. Blackwell.
A pitch count situation, if I had to guess.
Let's take a gander and see if that is indeed the case for Mr. Blackwell.
I have him. My count doesn't matter. I have him at 57.
So for Blackwell, 5 1/3 innings pitched, only 58 pitches.
58. I was close. Dang it.
But it again, it's 90 plus degrees with whatever percent humidity. So down on this field, there's not a lot of breeze. The American flag in right field barely wrestling in the breeze, so you can't really get a gauge as to just how just gassed Mr. Blackwell is. But 4 hits, 1 run, it was earned. The runner at first base is his responsibility. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Faced 20 batters.
Number 18 is our new pitcher for Camden.
And that is Billy Robertson, a young man out of Lugoff Elgin High School. He is a rising senior for the Demons. He'll be the new twirler for Camden post 17.
I mean, salute to Blackwell. He was on his game. There's no other way to say it. I mean, he was wheeling and dealing, and he was handing out chairs, to sit down.
He was. Everything in his arsenal was working almost to perfection the entire afternoon. So your line score at this moment in time with 1 out in the top of the 6th for Inman, it's 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error. For Camden, 9 runs, 7 hits. It says no errors, but
we're going by the scoreboard. There's 1 on each side.
There is. So somebody hit the wrong button, and thankfully for a change, it wasn't me. What happened earlier was my fault. An equipment malfunction.
The famous line from Steve Urkel. Did I do that?
Yes, I did. and I am so sorry.
You're good. But yeah, I mean, Camden year in and year out always has a solid program here in the American Legion. And there was a game, I believe, my first year in 2014 at the state tournament is the second day. I think it was the second or third day, or it was an elimination game. Inman actually and Camden, I think, went 10 innings, but that was back when regulation at that point was still 9.
Wow.
It was either 10 or 11 innings in that affair, and mercy, that was a tightly contested affair in that.
And the first pitch from Billy Robertson is in there for a strike, and the first batter he will face is Johan Rodriguez. Johan has a base hit in this ball game.
He's 1 for 2.
Runner at first, 1 down. Pitch to Johan, breaking ball in the dirt. It takes a bite out of the catcher, and it bangs to his left. And moving on up 90 feet will be Luke Compton. That will go as a wild pitch.
Going to be a little bit of a late release there on that breaking ball, or at least what appeared to be a breaking ball.
Trying to get that tight grip with that middle finger and just kind of spin it a little bit.
I think there's a saying to do with holding it like an egg in some situations. I heard Tyler Glasnow talking about that last year.
Fastball, a little bit off the corner and a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike to Johan Rodriguez. 9-1 the score. We're in the top of the 6th. Runner at second, 1 down for Inman. Robertson taking his time. That pitch also in the dirt. This one also gets away from the catcher. That will go as a pass ball, however. As the catcher, I think he was trying to make sure that he kept the base runner right where he was at, but took his eye off the baseball for just a split second. That looked like a fastball, but it never hit the dirt. So now Luke Compton's at third and less than 2 outs. And if you're Inman, if you're going to try to get back into this thing, going to have to do it now.
You have to cash in and try and get any kind of momentum that you can.
Robertson comes set. That pitch is low and inside, and that's ball 4 to Johan Rodriguez, who reaches base for the second time today.
First time that an Inman batter's been walked today.
First walk issued by Camden all day long.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're in the 6th. So
There's-
runners at the corners, one down for Corbin Childers.
That's a stat of the day right there.
It is, and you contrast it to Inman.
Yeah.
6 free passes to 1. Free 90s will get you beat.
That's 16 walks issued by Inman pitching in the last 13 innings of work.
That pitch is low and outside. Runner takes off for second, and the catcher went to throw to second, but the pitcher very wisely cut it off.
12 innings. I can't count, JT.
Don't look at me for help with math. You're looking at the wrong cat. Pitch was called a strike. The 0-1 swung on and a line drive into left center field. This is going to split the outfielders. This is going to roll all the way to the wall. Compton will score. Coming around third to score will be Rodriguez. Strolling into second base is Corbin Childers with a 2 RBI double, and that'll cut the lead to 6. It's now 9-3.
And we'll see what comes of that for Inman. And looks like we have a pinch hitter for post 45. Looks to be Hudson Moss.
And let's see.
Been primarily an infielder for post 45, playing second and third base. Yeah. So Moss will, I guess, hit in what would, I guess, be the pitcher spot.
That pitch high and inside. Moss will duck out of the way of it. I wanted to wait till I saw the number.
Yeah.
You have way more confidence in your ability than I do. I was going to wait till I see that number.
I recognize there's some of the guys I've seen him play. You mentioned it. I've gotten to see a lot of these guys play high school ball where I'm from in Spartanburg County. And so, you're more it's just the familiarity that bailed me out there.
And in the art of fairness, I've actually told a public address announcer who was going to be the pinch hitter, and he said, "How do you know?" And I was like, "Because I know the way they walk."
Yeah.
You just get to know them so well. The 2-0, that one's low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. And this is not what the coach for Camden wanted from his bullpen. You want to come in, get them 1, 2, 3, get them quickly, get out of it, end the ball game. But that has gone by the boards. It's 9-3. Runner at second and 1 out. That pitch clips the corner to Moss, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Hudson. Can play second, play left, play center.
And he's a very quick individual. He plays a
same pitch, same spot, same result. And Moss,
he's a 2-sport athlete at Chapman. He's going.
I was going to say, looking at his batting helmet, that's that navy blue with the orange C on the front of it.
Good old Black C.
The payoff pitch, here it comes. Swung on and a tapper through the hole, left side, base hit. Getting the stop sign will be Corbin Childers. And the line continues to move for Inman post 45. And we talked about it before the game. One thing Inman can do is crooked number, and they can do it in multiple innings. And you're starting to see it now manifest itself. And now Camden's bullpen going to get a little busy really quickly.
Is that double barrel action we're seeing down there?
It is.
One guy.
It is. So runners at the corners and 1 down. And I believe this is Hudson Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
The pitch. That one's rifled foul out of play left side. 0-1 the count.
You got to be careful because both of them have the nickname Huddy. So
Huddy.
So you got to be specific.
Baseball players and these nicknames. Good heavens.
Oh, well, I mean, it's off the first name. I'm good with it.
Some of them you can't say on the air.
Nope.
No, well, I take that back. You can, but you won't be on the air for long. The 0-1 inside, and that will back
our friends,
Mr. Hudson off the plate.
Our cohorts at the FCC would have something to.
The FCC is a lot of things. My cohort, that's not.
I was using it loose.
Not the adjective I would have used. The 1-1, fastball high and outside, 2 balls and a strike. The bane of my existence, perhaps, but. Every day I go check my mail, and when there's no mail, I say a prayer and I thank the Lord above. 2-1 the count to Hudson Wilson. Pitch swung on, and here's a
Wow.
little looper, a little Texas leaguer in the left center field that's going to drop for a base hit.
Uh-oh.
Corbin
Wow.
will score, and heading back to second very quickly is Hudson Moss because the throw came in from the left fielder back to second. But that'll be an RBI single off the bat of Hudson Wilson, and it's 9-4.
Inman showing some late life here in their penultimate turn at the plate.
So give an RBI to Hudson Wilson.
Uh-oh.
Corbin Childers will score, and the coach for Camden has seen enough. And again, he doesn't even make it to the chalk, and he's already calling for the pin. That is Coach Carmen, and he has seen enough.
That reminds me of something. Buck Showalter, I think it was his first year with the Mets. There's one of his relievers or somebody gave up a home run. As the person was trotting
around third, he was
He's
already
just
out of the
already gone.
dugout and already making the call. By the way, does anybody know what's wrong with the New York Mets?
No, but I'm not complaining.
Oh, no, don't take. Wow, that came out the wrong way.
No,
Not complaining. Definitely not complaining. But it's just mind-boggling.
That and the Padres with all the talent they have.
It's just because it's not like a lack of money. They spend money like drunken sailors that just came back to port after being gone for 6 months. But it just seems like what got me was when I finally sat down and I watched the Mets play and I saw the offensive numbers for guys like Marte and McNeil. They're batting 230, 240. I'm like, you guys are all-stars. And then you look at the pitching staff and just it's one question mark after another.
Baseball, it can be a great game or a cruel game depending on your vantage point.
And the thing about it is people keep saying, well, should they be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? I wouldn't do anything.
Nope.
I'd keep it right where it's at because I would politely remind folks at the All-Star break in 2021, the Atlanta Braves were 5 games under 500. Who won the World Series that year? Yeah.
Yeah, a team named the Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves. So don't go anywhere too quickly. The new tour for Camden, I believe, is number 12.
Looks like it.
Is Alex Simmons. Thank you, sir. Alex Simmons, who is out of Blythewood High School, USC Union, the Bantams. As the Bantams are one big happy reunion for Fort Mill players, Blythewood players.
You were talking about the big leagues. The toughest division right now is the American League East. Everybody's at least 7 games above 500.
They are, and I think the surprise to everybody was the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, Tampa Bay was in first and the Yankees were in last. And it basically looked like that division inverted from its previous years. It was crazy. But again, that entire division, they're going to eventually start beating up on each other and things will start to kind of level themselves out.
And the Red Sox have already won the season series against the Blue Jays. Hey.
A notch in the belt. So the first batter that Alex will face is going to be Perry Dyer.
Out of Hillcrest High School.
Pitch off the inside corner.
Yeah, he played this past season for Coach Grant Ramsey. Coach Ramsey does a great job, outstanding man, both as a baseball coach and just a person as a whole.
That pitch in the dirt, nice stop by the catcher, actually sacrificed his body to save 90 feet there.
There was one game here in the playoffs where Perry only had one official at bat because he was walked 3 times. So he was like, I was like, well, Perry, you went 1 for 1.
Pitch swung on and a little tapper to the second baseman. He will glove it. They'll throw to first. Nice stretch by the first baseman, and they will record the out. That'll go as a 4-3 ground out. Runners move to second and third, but 2 down for rookie, and I continue to butcher this kid's name.
Montalvo.
Thank you.
Yeah. He just finished his first year at Newberry College. Was a member of the 2022 Upper State Championship team for the Panthers in the 3A classification. That was his senior year.
Pitch from Simmons is in the dirt, a breaking ball, and another nice stop by the catcher for Camden, who has earned himself an ice bath, making Leopard doing a lot of work back behind the dish on a very hot day.
Yeah, both catchers really. They are.
That's true. Yep. The 1-0. That one's in the dirt, and that one gets through the wickets. It's going to roll 58 feet all the way to the backstop. Coming home to score will be Inman's number 2. That is Moss, and it's 9-5. That will go as a wild pitch.
There's a song there, but I'm going to leave that.
There is.
Nobody wants to hear me sing it, so I'll spare everybody. Nobody wants to hear that.
2 balls and no strikes on top of.
There's a
The pitch, fastball inside corner, but a little bit off the inside corner, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. I'll tell you how hot it is on the field. When the gentleman behind the plate, the umpire, started this game, his shirt was Carolina blue. Now it's more a royal blue, and that one's in the zone. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that's the humidity. I'm curious what the humidity is. I'm going to check that.
Well, it's South Carolina in July, so I'm going to go somewhere around 90%. 3-1, low it inside, ball 4. And another free pass. That's the second walk in this half inning. And now Inman has batted around.
And it says humidity at 53. And this is where I quote Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you.
Coach Carmen makes a beeline out of the Camden bullpen, and he will march to the mound, and that will be the day for Simmons. Apparently, walking people is frowned upon in this establishment.
Just a man and his thoughts.
There's a lot of thoughts. so this is going to be the
third pitcher and second pitching change of this inning alone for Camden. Wow. Camden
Actually,
going to another right-hander trying to.
Actually, this will be the 4th pitcher.
Oh, 4th. I can't count.
Blackwell to Robertson to Simmons, and now to.
That's right.
Is this Riley Ward?
No offense, Mr. Simmons. I'm sorry.
Trying to see the number on the gentleman's back here.
Go gadget binoculars.
Yeah, exactly. It is Riley Ward from Lugoff Elgin High School. Just graduated from LE, an outfielder and a pitcher for the Demons and for Camden Post 17. And like we said, the 4th pitcher of this half inning, Blackwell started it. Then Robertson, who did not record an out. Robertson, I think you can close the book on Robertson. No outs recorded, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk. Simmons, a third of an inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk. And you cannot close the book on Alex because the runners are his responsibility. So it was 9-1 coming into the top of the 6th. That's down 9-5. And I'm just going to throw it out there to stir up controversy. You're one massive swing of the War Club away from cutting the lead to a single run.
Yeah, Inman hasn't hit a ton of home runs this year, but they have done a good job. One of their things is with 2 strikes. They've had a knack for being able to go opposite field cap, that kind of thing, if they get deep in a count like that. And
if you had to say there was one batter for Inman that you'd want up there in a situation where they could, with one swing of the bat, make it a 1-run game, would it be Corbin? Who would it be?
Corbin would be one of my first 3 choices. But I guess this is why I'm not a coach.
That's why they make the big bucks. Here's Kason Owens, left fielder for Inman. The pitch, that one right down the heart of the plate at the knees for strike 1.
If you're Inman, all you want is Kason Owens to just
put it between 2 defenders.
Moving. Just keep the line moving.
Kason 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 breaking ball never had a chance. Stayed high the entire time from Riley Ward. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Inman. 9 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Camden. Ward delivers. Fastball looked like it caught the outside corner. I'm going to guess it was low. The throw back to him is a one hopper. That's it. Is a live ball, fellas, because nobody's called time. And I believe it was you that told the story, or was it Elton who said nobody called time, and somebody who was standing at third just came home to score.
That may have been Elton.
And the run counted because
Yeah.
nobody called time. And the umpire just stood there and was like, hey, not my problem. Because it's not. The pitch, fastball outside corner, 2-2.
And here's where Inman has done, I feel like, a better job this inning alone with their approach. They're being uber aggressive as they traditionally have been throughout the season, but it just wasn't paying dividends very early on.
Pitch swung on and foul backing out of play. It'll stay 2-2. Deuces are wild, by the way. 2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And you just really start to feel like if Inman's got a chance, got to keep this line moving. The flip side of the coin is this is the 9-hole hitter, so Inman will get their heart of the order back up there in the 7th. Pitch, try to hit the outside corner and just missed as Riley Ward's hat goes fluttering off his noggin.
That was a...
That was nasty.
Yeah, that was a gutsy take. You know?
Some of the pitches these guys today take, back in my day, man, we'd have been hacking. Just foul it off and live for another day.
Or sometimes corkscrewing ourselves into the ground.
Payoff pitch, swung on and popped up, shallow right field. The right fielder over near the line, still coming, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But a prosperous inning for Inman Post 45. They score 4 times. They do it on the back of 4 base hits. There were no errors. There were 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning with an update in your score. Camden 9 and Inman 5. You're watching and listening to the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships from Florence, South Carolina, here on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Headed to the bottom of the 6th inning here in beautiful Florence, South Carolina. Francis Marion University, home of the Patriots. Also, this has been the home of the Stingers of Florence Darlington Tech, one of the more underrated baseball programs in the Palmetto State. There have been quite a number of really good players out of Florence Darlington Tech, or affectionately called Flodar. And the new pitcher for Inman Post 45 is going to be number 1, Aaron Sewell. So he will take over for Post 45. No other defensive changes for Coach Skinner. And due up here first for Camden is going to be number 3, and that is Zane Cato. Pitch, fastball high and outside to Zane, who has walked, singled, and tripled. Pitch from Aaron Sewell. Breaking ball, never had a chance. Another Boiling Springs Bulldog, Coach Jeff Lipscomb. There's the changeup from Aaron, but it missed low. 3 balls and no strikes. The leadoff man here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Sewell. There's the breaking ball. You don't expect a 3-0 curveball, but there you go. It's 3-1. Coach Lipscomb, he's been part of the coaching staff at Boiling Springs 40 years-ish. That pitch is on the inside corner, 3-2. And by the way, when he says his editor, in air quotes, that is James McBee, who is a troublemaker extraordinaire. The 3-2 swung on and fouled off. He swung at ball 4. James McBee. There's a guy you watch your words with. He'll twist you around in a pickle. Man, that is your man, though. He is all things Boiling Springs. That pitch off the inside corner is ball 4 to Zane. Wow. First walk by Aaron Sewell, but that is walk number 8 for Inman today. So after you get back into the game, you walk the leadoff guy. That is not going to endear you to the heart of Coach Skinner. So here's John Rawlings. That going to square around a bunt, and he will bunt it, but will bunt it foul. And so there is, thank you, Mike, for that. Mike Ritchie, the much beloved athletic director of Florence, just sent me the USA Baseball, but South Carolina American Legion, the daily max pitches for the different age groups and the required rest based off of the number of pitches that you throw. And it doesn't always line up whatever the high school league rules are. Going to square around a bunt, fastball, pulls the bat back, and takes a pitch off the zone. 1-1 is the count. Squares around a bunt again and takes a pitch out of the zone. And this is something that drives me bananas. The other team is giving you an out, and you're pitching around the guy. He's going to give you an out. Here's one right down the belt. There you go. Square around, bunts it to the third baseman. He'll glove, throw to first. There you go. It can. It certainly can. But he's in that situation, he's clearly squaring around early to give himself up. But that's something in the game that you don't see a lot of today. A batter will step into the box. He looks at where the third baseman is. Third baseman's 4 feet behind the bag. They don't want to drop down. You could walk to first. So runner is second, 1 down. And the batter is Carson Weathers, and he gets plunked. And another free pass issued to Camden. That is what I have as well, sir. The other one happened in the 5th, I believe. So first and second for Macon Leopard. If you're an Inman fan, that's what you're hoping for. If you're Camden, you want to restore that lead. That pitch is swung on. It's going to be a base hit over the shortstop's head in the left center field, but going station to station will be post 17. And that's a good job because you don't know if that ball is going to get snagged out of the air by the shortstop, and you don't want to just take a guess and then run into an easy double play. Agreed. So the bases loaded, 1 out. Aaron Sewell back to the windup. Swinging at the first pitch and fouling it off is Patrick Daniels. And he has, so far in this game, his one swing of the bat is the difference in the game. He hit a grand slam home run last inning. That pitch, breaking ball outside the zone. It's a 4-run lead for Camden. It's 9-5 here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Sewell. That one is swung on and a big chopper. Shortstop's got to charge it. Goes to a knee. Throw to second for one. Throw to first, not in time. That will go as a fielder's choice, but it will go as an RBI for Leopard. It is a run scored for Camden. That is Kobe Evans. No, I beg your pardon. That is Camden Watts who will score. And it's 10-5. And I beg your pardon. It was Zane Cato who scored. Beg your pardon. So now runners at the corners, but 2 down. Sorry, Justin. That pitch is swung on and fouled off into the seated area off to our right. And people can say what they want to about Francis Marion being a D2 school. This is one of the biggest and nicest TV/radio booths you will ever walk into. Ever. It's phenomenal. The 0-1 bangs the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Luke Duncan. To the point where the Camden radio crew is to our left and you could probably not even hear them. How many booths have you been in where there's 2 crews at the same time and they're bleeding into each other? That's not the case going on, or at least I don't think. That break. Maybe. 1 and 2 is the count. I've been in the broadcast booth at Clemson. I've been in the broadcast booth at South Carolina. This is bigger than both of those easily. The 1-2 swung on and a little nubber, a worm burner, if you will, to Corbin at first. He will pick it up, step on the pillow, and that will retire the side. However, a run on a hit, no errors, 2 left on. Last chance saloon for Inman post 45. We have the top of the 7th inning. Your score, Camden 10 and Inman 5. Headed to the top of the 7th inning here in beautiful Sparrow Stadium. Cornell Field, home of the Patriots. On the bump to try to close it out for Camden is going to be Riley Ward. Now, I have a technical question. The score was 9-5, and technically he was looking, when he was pitching to the batter, that would have potentially been the 8th run. Where I'm going with that is, would this qualify as a save?
Was there at least 1 or 2 runners on that would have?
There were 2 runners on.
I would say yes. I would lean toward yes because it was potential of a 3-run game or less when he got put in.
And the first pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen by Luke Compton. Top of the order for Inman post 45. It'll be Compton, Metcalf, Rodriguez. pitch swung on and hit a mile high on the infield. The shortstop calls off everybody. He will look up into the sky without any sunglasses. He's a brave young man. And
Yeah.
that'll retire Luke Compton.
Yeah, I mean, pitcher did a good job with Ward locating there, made Compton go chase it low and away, inducing the pop up.
That'll be Jaron Metcalf to the plate. Mr. Metcalf, uncharacteristically, Justin, 0 for 3 today.
Yeah, that is not what you normally see on a line score for Jaron.
That pitch swung on and drilled into right field, but the right fielder's got a beat on it, and he will make the catch, and very quickly 2 down. And the last hope for Inman will be Johan Rodriguez.
And Inman, I mean, just very aggressive. They kind of backed off that approach in the last inning, and it paid dividends, and they're kind of reverting back to what they had been doing earlier in the game.
Getting a little antsy. You need base runners.
Yeah.
But if you're Camden, you say, well, thank you very much.
Yeah. 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Rodriguez has singled, walked, and popped out. Pitch from Riley Ward is a fastball that just misses outside the zone. The P-15s from Sumter are going to go warm up now. They'll get ready for the second game of the day coming up here in about 45 minutes. That pitch is swung on and popped up. I think it's going to stay in play, and if it's caught, it'll be the ball game, and it is ball game. The final score, Camden 10 and Inman 5. Your final line score for Camden, 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. For Inman, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. And Camden will survive. They will move on to tomorrow afternoon. And it's still an elimination situation for Camden, but unfortunately, Justin, the season will come to an end for Inman post 45.
Yeah, I mean 13-5, nothing to ignore per se, but I mean heck, the season for Inman, but unfortunately, you end up on the wrong side of things, losing the last 2 games of the season at a key point in the season when everybody wants to be playing. I mean, tip your hat to Camden. They came out. I mean, they jumped out early. And Inman never led in this game. Camden jumped out 2-0 in that first inning. Kind of made Childers really work early in that pitch count, get over 30 pitches in that first inning. And I think that kind of was a little bit of the tail of the tape, as they say.
And so the one thing, if you are Camden, you do have to wonder how much gas is in the tank for the relievers that came out of the pen today for post 17. But time will tell. No one knows that squad like their coach, and they're going through the line high-fiving everybody, but more work to be done for Camden. They could surprise everybody and take it all the way and really shock this entire organization. To say that that's hyperbole, I would strongly disagree. We've seen stuff happen in this tournament each of the last 5 or 6 years that will make you go, and that certainly would not surprise anyone really, but it would catch a lot of people off guard is really where I'm going with it. So that will take care of Inman, unfortunately. Camden will move on to tomorrow afternoon tomorrow afternoon will be at 4 o'clock, and they will play the winner of the following game, which is going to be Sumter against Richland post 2:15. Justin, appreciate you coming all this way, man, and being on the broadcast with me. I appreciate it, and I'm sure you wish you would have been able to, just stay a little bit longer, but really appreciate you coming down here and going on the air with me.
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
Thank you for the invitation. And, it's Legion baseball, I guess you could say, has a spot in my heart. I grew up on baseball, so anything to do with like baseball, softball, that kind of thing, it always makes you go, okay, let's go. In an area I know where football is king, I get it. But, I mean, just, a heck of a season. Great battle between these 2 clubs who each had 13 wins. Camden gets the important 14th, moves on. Inman 13-5. A lot of these guys, this is the first year getting to play Legion ball together, but they have known each other going back, I think, somewhere close to little leagues between all the schools that Inman pulls from, including Bowling Springs, Burns, Chapman. Heck of a year for all those guys, and get ready for next year.
Absolutely. So Justin Mathis will head back home, and he'll go back and work for the grind that is James McBee.
Yeah. 4 weeks till kickoff.
So there you go. They'll get ready for football. And maybe I'm wrong, but heck, Boiling Springs, I call it the I-26 corridor. The Boiling Springs Bulldogs, the Burns Rebels, the Spartanburg Vikings, and the Dorman Cavaliers.
And don't forget a little trip you hang
to Chapman.
Well, I was going to say Gaffney.
Gaffney.
Oh,
so
I call them old friends getting together.
Old friends. Wow.
I'm joking about
you
the
came here
part.
for political correctness, ladies and gentlemen, and there is your political correctness. So appreciate y'all tuning in today, wherever you may be across the fruited plains. Huge thank you to everybody who hung with us while we had technical difficulty, especially earlier in the game. Going to work on that and hopefully get that remedied for the rest of this tournament. That will do it for us here in the first game of the day. Again, your final score, Camden 10 and Inman 5. The next game up is Sumter against Richland. That will come up in about 40 minutes' time. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Justin Mathis, I'm John Turner. Until the next time we see you, crazy kids, so long, everybody.